It gives me an excuse. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Oh, they want.
Just cross your fingers.
Yeah,
But
I don't
that's
know doing
it.
anything. I just like disagree. I discovered, I realized that it was like,
That seems to be the topic right now. Better than most, they've all said.
yeah, me too.
Okay.
I just can't.
That's right where it's at. Thank you. Carl, come over something around there.
Ooh, where? On your thumb? I gotta have this done. You will feel much better.
Two more weeks.
Hello, I just passed you one.
Sorry about that.
You don't look around either.
Yeah, probably not.
Nobody does. I know Steve throws at me.
Yeah, no,
I didn't know big voice.
luckily this trigger finger that, you know, I can't move that finger. So, but it doesn't affect the trigger.
So is everybody, wait, they're missing one.
We don't buy it.
Two.
Oh,
Jim. Real quick.
your copies are in that box, right?
That's the other one.
Just before you go, you're all done.
Somebody was trying to, that, you know, get your name on a deed. Yeah. Yeah.
And I can remember here, it's mine.
Yeah, they want, what's his name, Bob, Danny, on the other part, told me that for sale. He started, he called to see what's for sale, and got this out to it. Well, this is what's going on with Levy Pool. Yeah, looking at, they came out during the night, put the sign up. Yeah, it was a hoax, somebody was trying to sell that farm, one of those quick things. Sure. How you doing? Deb? Hello there. What's that? Yeah, right here.
It's just one sheet. Oh, you should have, it should be a loose page. I got another.
File, they're wrong.
Oh, I bet it's in there.
I have one. Here you go. I'll be under those. I got you, Rose.
We can share.
Well,
Share and carry.
let me have yours, Julie, so I can get the copy. Everybody else got mine, oh?
It takes a little bit, you gotta.
What she said.
So.
There you go.
All right, everybody ready? We're gonna call this meeting to order. Should we approve the agenda? Do we have anything on the agenda that needs to be changed, looked at, talked about differently? Or are we gonna accept the agenda as it is? Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second the motion.
Do we have any citizens that want to address the council? Nope. We just approved it.
Approved it.
Vote.
Oh,
Oh, do we have to take a roll call vote?
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Just,
All in
Oh,
favor?
okay. We have to, see, I've never done this before.
All in favor?
All in favor,
Aye.
say
Aye.
aye.
there you go.
There we go.
Opposed, same sign.
Opposed, say no. bills, then that's correct.
Yep.
And the liquor license for Woods.
Yep.
And we're gonna put all that stuff together.
They usually scribble their names on the bottom of that, and that's what they keep our copy of, the bills. Just pass it
Is
this
that
way.
got, is that Dewey, Brian, you sign it? What are the two differences between the two pest controls? Let's start with those.
One was fire department, and one was city hall.
Okay. Can we work on the references to be a little easier to tell? Like instead of just numbers, can we include
Locations.
just something, yeah, something a little bit more than just numbers so that we can reference what they are?
Yep, Ecolab is city hall. ABC Press, Pest, I transpose numbers on a check, so that's why it's only $2.46.
And these are bills that are already paid.
Already paid.
Already paid.
This just got us through the year, December 31st.
Okay.
This one guys went down and did it.
You wanted to sign it?
Or if you have any more questions, you can.
We need a motion for that.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Right.
Brian says it. All in favor?
Aye.
Keep me in line, Grover, keep me in line.
Alright.
Yeah, we don't have an agenda for tonight.
Here you go.
That's what I got.
I've got an extra one. I've got one of them right on somewhere. All right, now we're going to new business. And you guys are not all here yet, correct? Okay. Do we wanna name the new officials yet? You wanna do that?
Well, it's up to you. There's some that can be done and there's some that can't, so.
Okay, approval of the, contracts.
WAPA and RAC, these were talked about a couple meetings ago. This is just now all the cities are on the same page finally to sell those RACs for going Greg Flitzky. So that's all. And get your copy, the one's 25 pages.
What I got was only 13 pages. Copy that I got.
Oh, yeah, I shortened your stuff, cause I didn't know you printed it.
So,
That's okay.
you said these are already approved?
They were approved as a draft, so then all the cities now are on the same page that are gonna sell their RACs. There's more than just Pokey.
Sure.
So now we have the official and it has to be in the minutes and it'll go back to WAPA.
So we need to approve the final draft.
Which is the same as the draft.
I'll make the motion to accept.
For both of them, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll second that motion.
All in favor? All, any opposed? I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, of course you are. Alright.
All right. Let's go down to the resolutions. Approved resolution 1 of 26, it's adopting a code of conduct for members of the Pocahontas City Council. Do we have a motion for these individually?
I make a motion that we accept it.
I'd like to ask a question
Go ahead.
first. Are there other code of conducts in place for our city employees, for our city administrators, clerk, that sort of thing? Do similar code of conducts exist for those positions?
When they're hired, they have to go by the rules, like that kind of stuff is outlined.
thing in this code of conduct that I thought was missing was the social media section and our presence on social media and how that reflects on the city. So I'd like to add a word into that before accepting this.
What would you like that to say? No?
Paraphrasing, probably when you're commenting on official pages related to the city, that you're reflecting a good image, similar to what it says that, you know, if you're acting informally, personally, that's reflective upon you as a person, but if you're acting in a situation tied to your professional world, then that is reflective of your position as a councilman or mayor, whatever it is.
I think that's a really good idea. Anybody else? Because social media is huge.
Yeah, you know, that's what I thought of it was, you know.
You
Yeah, I know.
can
We're
trash-
afraid to
Or
first
Facebook,
one.
he's going crazy on Twitter, yeah.
You can trash mail you want on Facebook. I don't.
Although I will say, it doesn't say in, anywhere in there, I did not read the word mayor.
Yeah, it just was for council, I believe.
And it is just council, but, I think that's something that even I need to follow those rules. Cause I can't, I don't know.
Table it till we get it.
Yep, we can do that till we
till
upgrade it.
they, adjust it a little.
I can put a tab.
That's okay. Alright, let's move to the next one. Resolution number 226. Adopting a policy authorizing the city clerk to pay the following bills prior to the city council's approval. Did everybody read that?
I think it leaves a lot of gray area for the other payments as requested. It's not very black and white, and what was the logic between, or behind approving conference expenses prior to council approval? To me, I feel like there's enough leeway to plan going to a conference that you have plenty of time to get approval from the council.
Not always, cause you have to sign up for the tests and you guys have to be certified. You could be crunched right down to the minute if they fill a class. Or they need a hotel room, or they.
And what I will interject with that is the experience that I have in paying the county's bills. Any and all of these places have never asked to be paid up front. They might ask it, but they don't push it. Do anybody that goes to these trainings, do they, charge it on their own credit card and then get paid back?
Sometimes they do the gas, but if they're taking a city vehicle, then no. If they're taking their own vehicle, then yeah, they get gas and they don't usually pay for that upfront.
Registration fees can be, that's usually a minimum of a month out. And that, I agree with Nicole, that's not necessary. And meals also, in my opinion, you can't pay ahead for meals, you know, who knows what you're gonna have.
This is usually, that particular one is when they go to the academy, you have to set things up through Hy-Vee ahead of time. And the bill does come ahead of time, cause they have a set.
Then the bill can be put through our normal, what's going to now be our normal process. All of that is done at least at a minimum of a month ahead of time. I'm not sure that conference expenses needs to be in there, to be honest with you. And, other payments as requested by the city administrator, I don't know what those other payments are gonna be. I don't know, give me an
Because
example.
we never know. Sometimes things come up, like today, the grinder pump out at Prairie Estates, we had trouble, so that's gonna create a bill. I mean, everything, it just pops up, those are just the pop.
But it ain't a bill yet, paid today.
Not yet, no.
No, and so
That's fine.
personally, I think that can come off of
Why
there.
are we paying grinder pumps?
We didn't pay for that, we had to pay for some other, I'm thinking we're gonna have to pay for water problems that were out there
that one should also be tabled until we get that.
That's fine. I can take those two
Isn't
lines
there a
out.
section in the code now about paying,
Travel.
what we pay when?
Yep.
I mean, if we're gonna do, that just be modifying that and not making it new one?
So the code,
Yeah.
so that'd be an ordinance.
I was gonna say, code of ordinances are much more difficult to change or
But are you
update.
talking about, sorry, so you're talking about under the city administrator's titles and duties, right? Or is it, I'm trying to think which code section. Clerk.
It's
the
clerk.
Under the clerk's view about paying bills.
So you said Laura, you said there's something currently in the code that allows bills to be paid. Where is that in? Where?
I
don't know,
Is it
read it, but
I
I don't.
remember seeing something, but I would have to go.
Potentially under the clerk's duties.
But it would be under the
It'd be
clerk's
under,
duties,
yeah.
not the city administrator's be under the clerk's.
That's what I was just trying to
Is that
sort out,
correct?
so like.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's okay. We can update that verbiage again, so we can table,
Because this
One
says
and
clerk,
two.
this doesn't say city administrator.
And that's why it gets confusing, there's gray area down there because payments requested by city administrator for the clerk to pay, question mark? You see where,
Yep, I get you.
yeah,
Yep.
so we will table. Everybody's okay, we'll table it till the next meeting?
All right, let's move on to resolution number 3 of 26. A resolution adopting the official newspaper for the city of Pocahontas as the Record Democrat. That's,
It has to be a newspaper that's in general circulation, and we are lucky enough to have a big enough facility to do that.
I'll make a motion that we do that.
I will second that. Roll call on that.
roll call on that one. Thanks. I was getting there, I really was.
I'm helping myself. I was asking myself, not saying.
But I do think we do need,
Yeah, we
a roll
That
call
was,
on
that was a question.
Grover,
Alright.
Dewey,
Aye.
Cody,
Yes.
Nicole,
Aye.
whoever you, no, miss.
Can I ask a question why these are structured for this resolution 3 versus resolution 4? Resolution 4 mentions a roll call vote on the resolution, resolution 3 does not have that roll call. Is that something we need to add?
I can if you want me to.
I
Does it need to
noticed,
be-
what I noticed is, with resolutions, there is, everybody copy and paste everything. And this is probably just the way this one was set up.
So when we get it printed officially, can we put our roll call votes?
Yes, that, I think
Yep, that
that
goes
would be
around,
great.
yeah, that
That
goes
would be great. Okay, everybody said yes, didn't they? All right, are we ready to move on? Resolution number 4 of 26, adopting local financial institutions. I have a question. Community State Bank of Lawrence, why?
Been on there forever, so it's up to you guys. I think they can take paychecks over there because they're drawn on Pokey State, and I think it's an agreement between the two banks. Where they will cash a city paycheck, but we don't have anybody in there. Contractors or anybody that would come over and take a city check to that location.
We have to happen.
Yes. Nothing ever happens to it.
Is there any money in the?
No.
Okay.
We don't use it to pay anything out of those, so no.
Everybody okay with that one? Do we need to, do a roll call vote?
Make sure the title gets changed to 4 of
do a roll call on that?
Resolution.
What did you do?
Okay,
Aye.
alright. Resolution number 5 of 26, resolution adopting a city attorney for the city of Pocahontas.
Why is our attorney not doing, I mean, asking?
Dorsey and Whitney
Dorsey and Whitney's our bond.
are used for bonds. Eric Eide, and I had a conversation with him, and I haven't had a chance to have a conversation with you yet, Laura, about him. He is wanting to not be taken off the list, but he wants to step back a little bit. He doesn't want to, step on local toes. And I did actually talk to Ryan Buskey, I just happened to see him, talk to him, and, they are more than willing to step up and do what we need them to do.
I need to see their background then on Iowa law, cause that's why we went with their guy.
Well,
And,
the Buskey's listed on here as an option.
And
Yeah,
he gets
it's
the Prairie
already-
States, he doesn't do the Iowa law stuff. And the stuff for city council and the members.
So you're saying the three of these each have their own respective sections that we
yes.
utilize them for?
Yes.
We probably need to get that information to us so that we know who
Yeah,
is used
'cause
for
I
what,
didn't
cause I
know.
have no idea, I had no idea why we have three, I have no idea.
We don't use them all at one time.
Right,
No.
I didn't know why there
No,
was three, that we use them for different items.
I only happen
Which
to
is
know that
important to
Dorsey
know.
and Whitney are bond attorneys, you know, I happen to know that through my other job. And I visited with Eric Eide, he's fine with stepping back a little bit. And Buskey, in talking to him, has an extremely good grasp on Iowa code, cities codes. He's just,
I think there was maybe, sorry,
go ahead.
time in the past that started with Buskey, and then Buskey sent
ID.
to kids.
To get ID. And,
Yes,
and a lot of times,
That's
I
still in
think,
litigation.
for those guys, there's, Buskey has matured
I don't know.
over the last
Yeah,
few
sure.
years. And Heidi just is fine with stepping back a little bit. And I didn't bring that up to him, he brought that to me. And I asked him about Buskey then, and he said, yes, more power to it, you know, that would work. And my thought, and you guys can agree or disagree, Buskey's local, he grew up here, and our local tax dollars are gonna pay someone local to do some work for us. Is that okay?
I get what Nicole's saying, is just kind of have it explained what their,
What they're on here
Buskey
for.
basically is our default.
And just to throw that in there, not that Eric has been a difficult attorney, but when they are at distance, you know,
Right.
well, I haven't had, and we've had all of our settlements on the criminal charges that I filed through the city. It would be nice to have someone who's
Yeah,
much easier, because
yeah.
then we don't have the mileage fees. I mean, like for instance, Fonda has a mileage fee that's because the guy's in Denison, or
Right.
Lorenz is in Fort Dodge.
Right. Right.
I also think it's important for us then to respect who we're getting our information from and make sure that we are receiving that information, make sure that we are taking that information and treating it professionally and respectfully when that's given to us for what it's worth, because those people are the experts in their situation, we need to respect that as opposed to letting it bounce off blame walls when they do come forward.
So I think this is one that we can go with. Anybody wanna do a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve.
Stipulation.
Stipulation of having
Okay.
just a little more information.
I'll second that then.
Roll call?
Aye.
Alright, looks like
You guys
that's
ready?
the guys wanna get sworn in? You want that?
Yes, I do.
Right. Is that good? I keep.
I know, I'm gonna screw that one day. It's been there for 25 years.
I know.
And the
It's been a long
pay fee bill.
Does it ever, it's like, do I ever open that up and I hit it?
I know you, I think I know you, I know you, I don't know you.
Otherwise, as long as there's no penalty.
I know you too. We know some of these guys. Electric, that's a good one. Are we having fun yet?
Oh, yes, having a blast.
Here you go, folks, and I'll get your pens and you can sign.
There's really fire department officers. And I can take the picture. Sometimes I feel like on the paper, but I can take the picture.
Are we gonna do this all together or individually? Come on.
So it's not too windy today.
We lost two flags.
I, state your name, raise your right hand. I,
City of Pocahontas, State of Iowa, United States of America, so help you God.
congratulations, guys. Woo-hoo. Sorry, sign them too.
It's better to save it for scrap.
That door never opens.
Alright, do we need to do anything else with them, Yeah, we can do that. Naming of the new officials. We have police chief. Alan Slew is gonna be our police chief. City clerk is Kyle. Fire, we just did fire. And Mayor Pro Tem is gonna be Nicole. I know that's probably not gonna be the, most favorite thing, but that's what it's gonna be.
How's that decided?
I get to decide that, and it's
Just
in the code.
So in the code,
It's in the code, I get to
shall
decide.
appoint the following officials, prescribe their powers and compensation. This also has to go to council. Everybody but. The clerk is supposed to be done by council.
I have that as the mayor, but
I have mayor pro tem, police chief, library board, zoning board, and the Heinz Center. Page 72.
that's what I thought. You're right. Okay, so. Kyle, however, was sworn in when you started. You were sworn. And that doesn't have to be but every 2 years. Correct? So that one we don't absolutely have to do tonight.
The city code requires that all these officials, even if he was appointed in October, it says that at the first regular meeting in January, he has to be appointed
Appointed
for his 2-year term.
For your
So he was
2 year term.
basically like
let's go with, discuss current city council meetings, times, dates, date, time. Anybody got any ideas on that? Do we need to make a change? Do we need to keep it the same? What do we wanna do? Anybody?
I have no qualms with Monday, however, I would like to push it back to 5 or 5:30 for 2 different reasons. One, personally, I have class until 4 most days, so if we ever need to do trainings beforehand, that will not be an option for me. To do it at 4 o'clock before the meeting at 4:30, I won't be able to do that. Two, I think that reading the League of Cities and other different material that's out there, you need to make every effort to allow for your citizens to be able to attend. And in today's day and age, there's a lot of people who not only drive far distances, but work until 4:30, work until 5 even. And I don't think that it's fair for us to have a meeting at 4 because many people can't make that for us. Because it's not realistic and it's not making the best effort for our citizens to be able to come.
I know it all started being earlier, so when everybody had things in school with the kids, they could get to their sporting events.
Right, and in the summertime,
And then the summer, you don't want, not
we
that
don't wanna
late.
be here all night.
Totally
This time of year is probably fine.
Can we change it from time to time? Does it have to be cast in stone? Can we do it every 6 months, or can we?
I think it has to be set,
It needs to stay.
it's for publishing.
Okay, no, that's fine. No,
I don't think pushing it back 30 minutes
5
is
o'clock.
a huge ordeal. Most of these get done in 30 to 45 minutes anyway, so by 6 o'clock. I think it shows, I mean, 5 overall sounds better than 4:30 for most people. I think it shows a little leniency in that it's a lot of feedback we've gotten on multiple channels that it's too early and people cannot come. Their qualms from city council in the past has been, if you care, show up, and they care, but they can't show up.
Okay, so do you want
My recommendation would move it to 5 at least.
leave it on the first and third, and move it to 5? You're gonna motion that?
That would be my motion.
Anybody second?
Start time with 5 p.m.
5 o'clock on Monday night,
every first and third Monday.
second motion.
Let's roll call that one,
Okay.
just because I think that's an important one. Grover?
They,
Yes.
Aye.
So moved. 5 o'clock. Future recording ideas for the city council. I know Nicole has been using her own personal equipment. Do we want to,
So I printed out some stuff, I believe Kyle gave to you all. I've obviously been asking for this for 12 months. And, reached out to Bill at the school, Mr. Trimble, he's their IT guy. Because I know myself has used their stream when I was out of state to stay informed. And I thought that their stream needed conducive to follow who was talking and had pretty good audio, video, to be able to follow those people. Obviously, I know personally from being able to stream that I've gotten a lot of positive feedback that people have appreciated being able to go back and watch that, be able to answer their own questions. I know that's been utilized sometimes for record keeping by different people. And so I want to be able to take that under our wing and be able to offer that and again, be accountable, be transparent to our citizens. And so talking with Bill, they use the OWL 3. He said that it's, pretty good for the needs, would be pretty good for our needs. I put together a comparison chart and then printed off the different options that are on that comparison chart, purchasing them through various websites. So you can kind of glance that over. Obviously, again, like I said, find a reliable way to live stream, have good video, audio, easy to run, portable if we ever need to move locations, and be mindful of cost still. And then they're all pretty similar as far as specs go. A lot of that is mumbo jumbo if you're not sure of a lot of technology speak, but they pretty much all offer the same thing, relatively similar in price with the difference between like a $300 swing there. My overall recommendation after looking at everything would be to go with the medium owl medium green, because it picks up to 18 feet for video, so that way, or audio and video, so we can get people in the back of the room when citizens talk, as well as all the way up here. Again, specs are all pretty much the same, and I think the biggest thing is if we do have trouble or need assistance in setting it up, I know that Phil would be able to help us steer it out since they utilize that same technology, so.
And I do have the ability to look it up. I know the Owl 3 and everything else. Too easy. I mean, and it is a good product. I totally absolutely.
Who's gonna be in charge of every meeting doing this?
I think that's, something we have to then develop a policy for as to like how it gets used, who's in charge of it, in the absence of.
Where we say.
Right, where we're streaming at, what platforms we're on. So as far as like a policy, that would be then the next step, as long as you guys would be approving the equipment purchase so that we can get the ball rolling on that.
I can create a resolution.
I just feel that Alex is, whoever is gonna be taking on more, should maybe be compensated for it.
I appreciate it.
I just,
Because everything's gonna
I
come back.
you're busy and.
Well, and a
just-
lot of that stuff is that I can teach people. So I mean, I don't want to have more than need than we don't.
Right.
Obviously, I mean, because I won't always.
Right, you're not always gonna be able
But
to.
I would go through and I would teach everybody how.
And most of it is something that like, you can set up streams that takes 20 minutes, set up streams for the whole year for our meeting dates, and then you just press play and it goes while you're here, so it,
Somebody's gotta set that up.
Yep,
It
yep,
takes time, and I
and-
just know Alex is always busy and
yeah,
comes
you need to
down,
have someone that's
appreciate
gonna be here.
comes down to, he doesn't get to use his vacation time well.
Yeah, that's a
Maybe
little
we
bit.
need to figure out some other way to compensate him for the things he does.
So that would be resolution.
And that's, the policy itself is not something that obviously will be decided today, it's more of a, this is what the price point is, these are the options for equipment available, is this something that anyone else is interested in
So
pursuing?
this does the recording and this all, and just set.
Speaker, mic, yeah, and it will show the whole, like a panoramic slide up top, and then it'll zoom into whoever's talking at that given moment, and there'll be different little screens at the bottom as to who's talking, who's moving, and it just kind of tracks.
Well, as long as it's a spinner.
Okay.
And that's what you'll learn real quick, like you've ever seen at a school board meeting, you drop your pen, all of a sudden you become, for just a second, yeah, so.
That's what I mean, it's two people are talking.
It's,
And there's multiple, like that is correct, so that, two people are talking, they'll probably get a square down at the bottom of the post.
But, so they have one more camera.
Yep, yep,
Just how it comes up on the screen.
yep.
And this will be recorded for us? Is this something that's gonna go out on social media?
That would be something we'd all have to decide upon with whatever policy we enact as far as who gets it, like Laura said, where it's stored, what streaming
We'll have to
measures
look
we're
around
gonna
and See what
use,
the verbiage is.
how long they're stored for, all of that.
Let's put that on, old business for the next time
The
that
20.
we can talk about it on the 20th.
Maybe we should, I would assume they're only gonna take a couple days to get.
Yeah,
So,
for the L3, I found it on Amazon and Staples, and I know we had a Staples account, that's why I looked.
Do we wanna go ahead and order the equipment?
Is this something we want?
Is that something we wanna do?
I don't see nothing against it, I just mean,
where is the?
I don't think it's gonna come up, or get policy first in.
I agree, I
Either.
agree, I agree.
Couple days to get it.
Yeah,
See what else we need to go with it, cause I don't
Because
know.
are we gonna start using it the next meeting if we do not have a policy?
Probably not.
So my question then would be, as far as putting it on old business in the next 2 weeks, what sort of items would everyone want to have available so that you can start to formulate that policy? What sort of information would you like me to go out and reach? Like Alex just said, the school has a great policy as far as their streaming is that something we
I
should
was
get a
gonna say,
hold of?
do we need a policy, do we need a resolution, do we need,
A resolution for the policy,
Yeah.
similar to the code of conduct situation?
okay,
And as you can tell, my other ones here, we go and find other people and copy them.
Yes, that's what,
So that's why they all kind of look different.
So that would be, that's essentially what I'm asking is, in the meantime, I will reach out to Phil to get a copy of theirs, be able to put that into the packet for
Other
next
cities have a.
meeting, yeah, collect that sort of information.
I can tell you there's plenty of them.
So are you getting that information?
I can, yes. And I can order the equipment, whichever one we decide, and get it here, we've got the money in the city.
okay. In the.
Like our office supplies.
Like office supplies,
Yep.
yes. Okay. All right, are we moving on then?
So it's table, like, we've.
It's basically tabled,
But I can order. Which one do you wanna
Go
order?
ahead.
We're gonna order, or
I would
decide
make
to
a
order
motion
next.
to order, just do a verbal motion to order and then for a second. Order the
No.
equipment.
do you
We're gonna
wanna,
order
do
it.
you wanna order the equipment yet? Brian, yes or no?
Well, they gotta have a policy first. don't
I
they?
agree, I agree. So let's do the policy
Let's get our
first.
policy first.
We'll do resolution.
Get a
Okay.
get a resolution first.
Policy, then order the equipment. That sounds like a plan to me. All right, moving on. Approval of part-time certified police department officer, Mr.
Jack Halsey, he was working, at this time. Jack has, had kind of stepped away from law enforcement, but he is certified, he has a lot of interest. I initially worked with his brother, Michael has kind of stepped away, didn't really want that, he was to be certified, and then Jack has maintained, he wants to help us both here in Lorenz, he wants to put in some hours and times, we have availability, like when I get my network on and stuff like that. But basically, he was an Iowa Falls police officer, and it puts him on, he's interested in maybe becoming a full-timer here at some point. He's just trying to kind of sort out what his life goes from there. So to put him on our books doesn't cost us anything, it doesn't, it's just to have him. And basically your approval is, pay him.
Is that for the council or is that for me?
So the council
Because-
approves the wage. So basically you approve him as a part-time, then that sets his wage. The hire is mine.
Right,
So,
right.
so he's hired, but I just need your guys' backup and approval to put Jack on as a part-time officer is,
And I'm only because I have no clue. How bad do we need a part-time officer?
one that's certified that could fill in a spot if I lose one. And we have 2 officers that are having babies in May, so, and then me with my neck surgery could be out for 8 weeks. There could be a
Okay.
high risk, and so
Okay.
he's gonna come over and start riding with me once this is done.
Okay. Okay. Does he live here or does
He
he
lives
live?
over in Iowa Falls.
He does live in Iowa Falls.
So,
Okay.
and we do have officers from all over on our books, I mean, that's normal, we just, if we have a certified, especially to have a certified is always, nothing against reserve officers.
Certified, hard to find.
It is just nice to have
Yeah,
certified.
yeah, and I just don't know all the details, so I'm just asking. So do we want to approve that?
So you need us to approve the.
Well, basically a motion to
The hire.
offer.
A motion to
The
hire,
wages are.
Hire. This
The-
is weird
the
thing,
wage-
I hire him, but then you guys approve him.
And wages are already set.
Yep.
yes,
talked about it in the past. Because of our limited resources sometimes in our EMS, obviously I've been an EMT for a long time, and you know there's great value in having officers with an additional certification. Because of the changes with EMS becoming a county essential service and whatnot, it only adds to that. Plus, you know, to have officers with a little bit of extra knowledge medically, because a lot of times we're always beating the ambulance by far because of the nature of how we deploy out. So I guess I'm just here just to have this discussion, make sure everybody's okay with this, because there is a class being offered in Pocahontas. I want to make sure before I offer it up to the officers, because part of that would be like when they're working, they would be sitting in class. Now they would still go answer their calls, right? But it would tie them up. They wouldn't be paid when they're not working, but part of their duties would be, you know, so if they're working that shift, you know, they would
To have that EMT certification.
Right. And all of them have indicated they would. Now, when we're having babies, I don't know if, you know, so for instance, Mason has said that he would love to be an EMT because he's been in those positions where he would have loved to have more information before the units had gotten there and maybe have provided some additional care. I don't know with child coming if he's going to be there for this time, but, you know, I just want to make sure everybody was okay that I open that up to the officers because we do need to let them know the class starts January 26th.
Is that a cost to the city then? No cost?
I have one question. So a police officer being an EMT, is that putting more liability on the city?
And we base it off kind of the model that I did in Fonda is the fact that we're always an officer first, right? So if we're backing up the county or however this works, and we respond to a car accident, let's say out in the county, and they respond, we're still an officer first, right? Scene safety and all that other stuff, whatever that may be. We already kind of have it between Sheriff Nelson and I, and we've been a part of that. If we hear CPR is in progress, we all go. Because we know that it's gonna take a lot of, no matter where that's at, the deputies come into Pocahontas, we go help them. It's always the way. Yeah. This just provides that a little more. They'll have better skills. They'll have better, you know.
How detailed is this class? I guess I'm
It's
just.
it's 120 hours of training. You have to pass a national test to get your first 2 years out of the way. And then basically, I mean, it allows you to transport too. So let's say the ambulance, we should go into a situation where they're in third out and they don't have it. We actually could have an officer for Patrick, you know, or whatever to help backfill. And we've had to do that on ambulance calls before, where at least as a driver, right? You know, you know. And I obviously as an EMT, I'm still on Fonda's crew, so you know that's how. Just in case I'm down there with my family or whatever. So, but again, it's just it just provides that extra support. But it's not like super detailed. You're not doing IVs. You're not giving medications. You're not. This basically gives you that you know how to administer oxygen. That you know how to splints. Allows you to put on splints. Allows you to use certain equipment with a little more knowledge. You know, pulse oximetry. And provide those paramedics with a little more. Hey, I've got this person that I can say.
Back up.
Yeah.
Back up first.
So your question right now is approving if we would support them going, but not pay for their classes.
Correct. The class is paid for by, matter of fact, I had one of the paramedics just stop by earlier. Remember, this is out there. Because they also want to, it does help support the rest of the county because obviously they have a class in the county. So if we can get 1 or 2 officers here to offer that class here, because I don't know that they are short numbers, I don't know the answers. I'm worried that they would be able to. But I have several of them. They've all pretty much said they would like
They would take the class.
take the class.
Do we need a motion? Do we need a motion? Do we need everybody to say yay or nay?
I guess, and again, it is, if you guys have any concerns too, we have good questions.
I guess the question I would have is, you know, if someone's gonna be on duty while they're attending that class and potentially lose out on hours, how are they going to make up those hours? Would they have to go to a different class outside? Would we be paying their travel to
We'll have to
attend
work
those
that
extra
out with them,
classes?
because normally what has happened in the past is that officers are allowed to go out and make that up with, you know, as EMT instructor.
Well, and I think we've got a really good EMS, or the service, I mean, I deal with Patrick a lot, and, it's a good, and I think they would be flexible enough to understanding about that, that they know the guy's gotta leave and,
I know when I looked at getting my MT, and maybe things have changed differently because I was somewhere else, but like if I missed that specific class, I would have to make up that specific class at a different time, in a different location that was offering it. It's not just something you can go out to the hospital and be like, can I do my hours that I missed with you now, type of thing. So we may be looking at then having that officer go make up a class in a different location that we would potentially have to pay like a mileage or something
And
reimbursement.
we would, I mean, so the class is done because they own the class, if that makes sense.
the Patrick, I'm just gonna
Yeah.
use
Yeah,
Patrick's
yeah.
name as being the owner, that Patrick owns that class and owns that training, so that can be made up through Patrick,
Or however we do that through the college, yeah, absolutely.
however it.
And a lot of this too is, and what a lot of times happens, right, is if I know an officer's working a sex assault, and I know I'm in town, or if Josh is working, and I do sex assaults because they're usually most involved, then I'm usually covering down. We usually always have somebody, hey, who's in town today, or Zach has been, sorry, Zach, to throw you in the bus, I know how much you love attention, but Zach is one that listens to his radio all the time, says, hey, what do I need to do? Hey, I just need you to take calls for the next, little bit, so we can sort of just like that.
I think it's a great idea myself, but then I'm just, I'm here, I don't have a vote, you guys vote.
We could put that as a resolution too. No? Okay.
No, I don't need a resolution, I think just saying yay or nay,
I make a motion to
approve
approve
This concept.
this.
I like that.
Got a second?
need a second.
Well, I'll second it.
Are you okay with that? You guys are both okay, you're okay, we're good to go.
Now, Pleasant just get his EMT back.
And
Not to throw him under the bus.
under the naming of the officer, we need to name somebody for the West End, what is that called? Copay program.
Yes.
Get that done in the
Because it was Dean.
It was Dean.
It was Dean, so who wants to volunteer to do
I
that?
think they were, I think Cody's gonna do it.
we've talked,
They talked before,
we
we
talked.
should really all-
Cody and I have talked about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then do all the alternate.
Yeah.
Dewey would take it, and I would stay as the alternate.
Oh, now wait a second. What did you say?
Wasn't that it?
Yep.
Yeah, Dewey.
Dewey's gonna take it and you're the alternate.
And I will stay on the EMS board, yeah.
That is another question that I had is, we're new people, what committees do we need to be on?
I gave you a list of what's current. So, Airport Commission, they're fine, been here forever, kind of do their own thing, I go out to their meetings. Board of Adjustments, we need 3, we currently have 2, Cody sits in on those, but he can't vote. Dean would like to be appointed to that board, that has to come from you.
Dean wants to be appointed to that board. Okay,
Yes.
yeah, I think that's great, I wanna appoint Dean.
So you're, all right.
Yep, I'm good with that.
All right, library, they are full, they actually have 1 extra, but I think they're watching for things to shift, a lot of them have been on their own. Park Commission, those are the only 3 I've heard from. I've tried to reach out to someone and can't hear anything back, I've had other people reach out and cannot get a response. So those 3 I know of.
We don't, whatever you're referencing, we don't have in front of us, same side.
Oh, nobody else has
Everybody
this in
got
front?
I gave her credit.
Oh, that's always my stuff.
Yeah, I gave you a copy.
Did you not get one?
Here, there's mine. And then the one at the bottom, planning and zoning, comes up when things come up, so it's not a regular type of meeting, but they need 3 to
They
vote.
need 3, does anybody wanna do planning and zoning?
Your board of adjustment.
This, I think,
We can't have anyone.
No, but you can manage it, like you can set up appointments to go to the meetings. Be part of that.
That's
for
correct.
city employees, not
Yes.
necessarily board
Base.
things. I think you were asking like what positions
Yes.
were they in that you now need others?
I was on the PMS development at the hospital, and Dean was on the propane.
Yeah.
Basically, that was our main thing.
That was
Other
it.
than I did attend the 911.
Do we have anybody on, garbage, whatever you wanna call it? Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Oh, solid waste.
Solid waste
commission.
commission, there you go, thank you.
In the daycare,
Yep, in the daycare and
airport.
hometown pride, economic.
Like I know, well, correct in saying that there were two people that employees could come to talk. I know Tom has been mentioned that he was someone that went out there. Dean, I believe, was the second person. But
That was when we didn't have city administrator.
Oh,
So I think
and I think somebody also, like when I mentioned with insurance, like in two people that they could get with, that would be, so it's not a quorum, but that you can have
And that
conversations.
was basically decided at that meeting. Talked about.
So they
We
weren't
will-
official oversight
No.
like committees, they were just people that
Other
in
than,
that situation.
other than the EMS and the propane, that was really nothing set for all the time.
Cause there wouldn't be a voting
And then
situation, it would just be voting.
And for the employees, actually, yeah, that was because it was a city administrator, I think we were supposed to go through the city administrator. And not the council.
Are you staying on EMS?
I don't know if he's, I said I didn't want to if I was gonna do it.
Okay.
I said I'd like to do the propane, if nobody else would, he said he would.
Copaig's up in West Bend.
Yep.
I've been there for a
Fine.
When is it?
I need to go to Solomon's every now and then.
Next
This
week.
week, I gotta look up calendar.
They're there.
Yeah, there is.
I told you I'd go with him first meeting.
Yeah, thank you.
He needs help helping you, oh, did I see?
But you're right.
My other question relating to officers, when did we approve who our city treasurer is?
That is an ongoing running position until he resigns
Okay.
or we have an issue. And I've talked to him and he's fine with staying.
Who is he?
Nick
Nick.
Lehman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
What was the 911, what is that? With Russ Jordan's 911 EMS?
EMA, not EMS. Russ is not EMS.
He's EMA and not
He's-
one.
Correct.
That's
Now
what I
it's just
read.
like,
Emergency management.
That's what I didn't know when the last time.
it's just like a once a year meeting or something.
Yes, and he has already contacted me about doing that.
Yeah,
So, cause the mayors have to,
I think maybe that was at the time Russ had stepped down and we didn't have to go out with it, so.
and, yeah, I have been contacted by a couple of different, groups that need the mayors to come, they want, and nobody ever shows up to their meetings, the assessor and, I don't know what all.
I sent you an email today too, just on a side note for Hotel Pride, if you wanna be on that one.
I haven't looked at my emails this afternoon.
That's okay, that's okay.
Go on to the report. Who's your administrator?
And I don't have reports on the bottom here, but that's okay. Yes, we need, to do reports. Let's start over here. Nothing, Dewey, you don't have anything?
Our packets, are we not getting them all?
Yeah, I sent you one. Yeah.
So I didn't get it for the last, you didn't get one either?
I didn't either.
Well, you were here, I handed you one, so
Right.
I
Yeah.
emailed
I
you.
just-
Yeah.
I was here, but I still didn't get one and I didn't get an email.
I had you.
She emailed me
I
to get.
didn't get for the special meeting, and I didn't get it for this meeting, so. I got the text though, so I knew there was a meeting.
And I'm not opposed to emails and then a text reminder.
That's what I
You
usually do.
know, a text reminder
I
is.
send the email first, then.
Yes.
That's fine, I'm not, no big deal, I
Opposed to
just
that at all.
make sure, yes, you do, make sure you know I didn't get it, so.
Okay, yeah.
For the next one.
You have a report for him.
There's some things that I'd like to ask or bring up.
will need a resolution for that?
Okay, so that's what it's like.
So we'll be able to get that voted on the next meeting.
So what time do we have in our next meeting?
That's the next question. So we have to keep it at 4:30 for the next Monday.
Yes,
And
yes.
because that was already decided in previous meetings, it'll
Well,
be on Tuesday.
It'll be
It's a
on Tuesday.
Right,
Yeah.
but it was already decided to be on Tuesday at 4:30,
Yep.
so then we can vote on that and have them start at 5 and 4:30.
Okay.
I would echo that agenda, can we get that emailed to us on Friday so we can review? Is that
And
I guess since I
Normally we
handed
get it
them to you,
earlier.
I figured that was
at
everything.
least by Friday?
Thursday.
At least be able to proof it and make changes and try to be able to post it in time.
Right, right.
The other thing was, I spoke with Steph for, Webbing, for insurance. And, part of kind of what we had already discussed was that she would like to be more informed, and I think it's just an overall kind of better idea to, make sure that those people that are constantly part of the discussion behind the scenes know what's going on. So if we could potentially like get monthly, quarterly updates from, various departments within the city, within our insurance, within our fire department for what they need. We get every 2 weeks from police, so we know and are able to stay up with them, but be able to get reports from them.
Before I forget, I wanna say, we need a financial report monthly. And that's gonna be part of your job from now on, is a financial report on the second meeting of the month. And it can be for the previous month, it can be up to that time, but it needs to be a monthly. It should be at the very least the month before, like December's we need next time. And as far as that goes, a breakdown, similar to this, we'll have to get together to figure that out exactly what program we have and what reports we can get. Because we need to know bank accounts, we need to know how much money was spent out of each, department line item kind of thing.
We used to get a finance every month, we used to get one at the end of the month, showed what left there, out of your budget, out of your like sewer department budget, street department budget.
So each department got one,
Yes.
and then the council should get one of all of those. And that's,
Should be published.
it should be published, yes.
Public.
A public, yes,
Yeah.
that is a public.
Anyone at any time to walk
Yeah.
in and.
Yes, yes,
Just so you guys know, in 5 years.
we need to be doing that.
Not monthly. I got one once a year.
No, she had it all line itemized in the
I never got it.
each department.
I'm not saying she didn't do it, but I never saw
Or I
it.
guess the council did.
Yeah, I never got it.
Every department head, which is what you would be, needs to get a report, financial report for their department.
And if a line item goes in the red, keep it in the red. Don't take money out of something else to pay this. That happened for years and years and years.
We do an amendment in March that brings it
Right,
all
I
back.
was
Well,
gonna
no,
say
but
that.
what I'm saying is at the end of the year, you would get, because we always had to do our own budgets, okay? Well, you would look at something and well, you spent 100% of this, but where did we spend this kind of money out of this line item budget? Well, you ran this one over, so we took money out of this one to pay this line item. No, you need to have that line item show that it's in the red, so that you know that we need to really bring this up. You just don't take money out, it's not like putting it in a drawer, and
Yeah.
we're gonna pay this bill, we need to know.
Yeah. I'm already working on budget to see all those numbers.
Yeah.
Working on expenses.
So going back to my report. So that's something I'd like to maybe discuss at the next meeting as far as what we want that to look like, because that was recommended by staff to be more involved. She has to, watch the street to figure out if, like, she needed to be involved in that conversation with certain decisions that are being made. So She would love to come tell us more and get us more involved. She would love to get the agenda and the minutes after, or agenda before and minutes afterwards, to her, but I think that would be applicable to many different departments, not just insurance as a whole, so I think that's something we can talk about at the next meeting as far as having a little more collaboration with certain aspects.
Yeah, I 100% agree, that there are certain people that need to know certain things. And yeah, Steph is, Steph's. All right, anything else? Alex, did you get a,
Nick was sworn in tonight up in Loren. I got a picture of his swearing in, so Loren does one full time. I just got a text message from my other hire up there. He says that he knows he can pass the run and he believes he can do the sit-ups, so hopefully next Thursday I will have 2 full-time officers up in there. I just have some training to do. Other than that, everything's going good, just been a busy day.
what, did you give her anything you were?
We are going to set up the credit card machine training this week. It's gonna be 2 hours online, but we're all gonna have to go through it, and there'll be 3 of us, so bear with us, but the credit card is coming.
There's a new guy starts tomorrow,
Derek Seavers.
Derek Sievers.
Yeah.
We need Derek. This right.
Yep, so he starts tomorrow, and he's 7:30 to 4, just like Derek, and he'll be billing.
All right.
That's all I have.
You know, I'm so confused right now. No, I don't. I'm sorry. I'm still learning.
Not thank you for being confused, but thank you.
I'm trying. I really am trying. We need a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
I'll second.
Thank you. Yeah, for reference, the league sends these out once a quarter.
So what are these first?
That's her copy.
That was what I gave you that the employee perks.
So these are for our full-time.
Have you passed this stone?
And they are, as far as I'm aware, until we change it, that is